Welcome back to Personal Injury Insight. We share insights in personal injury cases as well as verdicts that have been awarded. Today's case involved a bicycle crash, which was unique for several reasons. One unique factor in this case is the fact that there was no motor vehicle involved, but rather two cyclists. Another unique part of this case was picking the actual jurors. In questioning a pool of 42 potential jurors, one juror asked a question that would become one of the biggest hurdles to overcome. Okay, let's get into the details. This case happened next to Piedmont Park along 10th Street in Midtown Atlanta on March 29, 2021. The victim, who was 30 at the time, was riding his bicycle in the bike lane when the defendant, who was the same age, was riding in the opposite direction in the car lane adjacent to the bicycle lane. The defendant suddenly cut right into the victim's bike lane, causing the two of them to collide. The victim was hit and thrown to the ground. He suffered injuries to his hands and wrists as well as injury to his knee. He did go through 50 sessions of physical therapy as well, but continued, and continues to this day, to have pain. The knee injury was also very relevant, but the attorney and victim had decided to not bring it up as it was an aggravation of a pre-existing injury. While this does not rule out compensation, the attorney representing him decided to address the injuries to both hands and wrists only. In this case, the victim's attorney called family members to testify about his life before and after the injury, as well as some of his friends. They also had a surgeon and the physical therapist reports entered in as testimony. The attorney representing this victim utilized a recurring theme of broken rules cause broken bones. They continually reminded the jury that the victim did not choose to give up the activities he loved, and because of the injuries he sustained, he was still having pain, which was 3 years after the accident. The jury selection was intense. There were 42 individuals questioned, and they ultimately did choose the 12 who would be the decision makers in the trial. During those interviews, a potential juror announced that the defendant would be the one that would have to pay, which is not accurate. Actually, it is the homeowner's insurance that would be liable to pay, but due to Georgia law, they were not allowed to mention the fact that insurance pays verdicts, not the defendants in the courtroom. Not all policies would be applicable, but in this case, fortunately, for the injured victim, it was. This case was not settled out of court and eventually did go to trial. The trial itself took place over a 3-day period. A major component of this case was the long-term and probable permanent physical pain he would be in for the rest of his life. The attorneys representing their client appeared to be very wise in portraying the incident to the jurors. They used several visual aids like flip charts and maps, as well as bringing in the actual bicycle the client was riding on the day of his injury. It clearly demonstrated the damage, including the handlebars. With these visuals including a timeline of rehabilitation, it was clearly an enormously effective strategy. Jurors are not perfect, and obviously they cannot remember everything. But a visual stamps a much longer impression in our memories for most of us. This case has similarities to other cases I've read. Like other large cases, they did not bring up the $160,000 in medical bills, but focused primarily on the pain and suffering. Like other cases, it was a risk, but a well-calculated one. The jury did award of $1.6 million to this individual. It appears the attorneys did an excellent job in their representation for this client. I think their emphasis on his pain and suffering and how they presented their visuals make a very significant impression on the jurors. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and remember, it's always free. We are a newer channel and more than appreciate it. If you have any specific cases in the USA that you would like us to research, leave a comment below and we will do our best to share it in one of our videos.